Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. You'll get 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. Plus, enjoy access to the American Express Global Lounge Collection. And with the welcome offer of 150,000 points, your business can soar to all new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum, built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. From your morning podcast to your afternoon playlist, State Farm knows you personalize your entire day. And that's why State Farm helps you personalize your insurance with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It offers coverage options that help protect what you care about most at an affordable price just for you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
So your actual proposal had some other company who's your boss.
My company, my boss's company.
Okay,
yes.
Does your boss, did you ever contact his boss?
State General Attorney contacted boss and sent
Did you get fired?
These are the plaintiffs, Vera Mitchell and Roscoe Mitchell. Vera says they hired the defendant, a contractor, to fix a hole in their roof, gave them money for materials, and the guy just took their money and then disappeared off the face of the earth. Their roof now has caved in because the repairs weren't made. The defendant is responsible, and they are suing him for the $5,000 they feel they're now owed. This is the defendant, John Beeman. He says he told the plaintiffs he worked for a company during the week and that he would do them a favor and help them out with their roof problems on the side when he had some time. The plaintiffs had no patience, however. He was going to get their job done, but they went ahead and filed a lawsuit against him just like that, and he's not returning their money because he was ready, willing, and able to do the work. He's accused of not getting around to the repair.
All parties, please use your right hands.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Seated, come forward, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Vera Mitchell and Roscoe Mitchell.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are suing John Beeman for $5,000, $1,270 of it, money that you gave him on a down payment for a job he didn't do, according to you, and the rest for damages to your house. Now, tell me what happened.
John Beeman was referred to us by a friend because we needed roof repair.
A roof repair. What had happened to your roof?
It started cracking. John came out and did an estimate on it and gave us a paper for material, the purchase of material.
Did he give you a contract? Did you guys sign a contract?
Yes.
May I see the contract? Okay. So this is dated October 6th.
Yes, the following Monday was a holiday. It was Columbus Day. So the parts place was closed. And he said he would get the material that following Tuesday.
Okay.
And it would show up the following Thursday to start the work.
Okay.
He didn't show. My husband waited for him all day. He never showed.
Okay.
He didn't call. And every time after that, he would not call. When we tried to contact him, he wouldn't answer his phone. Changed his phone number, made excuses about he was in Buffalo or he forgot his phone, and he kept saying he would be that following Tuesday or a Thursday, and he never showed up. So finally,
Did he ever do any work?
No, he did not. He didn't.
Do you have pictures? You
Yes.
submitted pictures of the damage to your. What is it that happened here?
He told us when he did the estimate that if it wasn't taken care of soon,
Immediately.
that it was a risk of the roof caving in.
Right, but what has been? I mean, was this leaking for a long time? What was going on here?
No, it didn't start leaking until after he was supposed to do the work. It had not been leaking.
So it didn't look this bad originally?
No.
Because it looks pretty bad. Is this where the damage is?
Yes, that's the outside of the house, part of the outside of the house.
Do you know what caused this damage? Was it just roof failure, or was there a pipe there, or do you?
The roof failure of the pipe there, and that is leakage from when it started raining. We had a series of rain, which is what's caused the cave-ins and the inside leakage.
And then this is what? You have a cooler there to catch the water?
Yes, that's the kitchen.
Oh, honey, this is no way to live. Did they, when he took your $1,200 and something, did he put a tarp over this?
No, it did not.
Were there further rains?
Yes.
Have you had it fixed?
No, we have an estimate on how much it would cost to fix it.
So you tell him that you want him to do the work, and he just doesn't come. How long is this going on before you say, I want my money back?
About 3 weeks later.
No.
All right, and then at some point in the continuum, you say you want your money back, and what do they say? What does he say? Give me more time, give me more time?
He says he's going to do the work. He's going to do the job.
Who is RMV Construction Services?
It's the company that he works for.
/ Bob the roofer. Okay, what's going on?
Okay.
First tell me, what is RMV Construction?
Construction. It's a roofing and contracting company.
Why is their name on here?
What happened was this. Okay. He had gave me that copy.
Who's he?
My boss. To go to Staples and get my own. He just wanted to show me what I needed to give them a proposal for their roof.
So why didn't you cross out RMG Construction?
I was gonna cross it. It all happens.
But you didn't.
I know. You're right.
No, hold on a second.
You're
you
right.
have a pen in your hand. You could cross it out or white it out and then photocopy it, Staples or whatever the heck you're talking about. But instead, what you did was put a slash and put Bob the roofer.
I didn't put Bob the roofer or anything.
Who put Bob the roofer here?
I don't know. It's just
Who put Bob? Just a second. Who put Bob the roofer here?
I did.
Who?
The person that introduced me to him
The person that introduced you to him.
told me he worked for Bob the
Okay,
roofer.
but who wrote this down?
Yes.
Who wrote?
I put it at the top.
Whose hand wrote this?
I
Okay,
put it
okay,
at the
okay.
top.
Your hand wrote that so that you know.
Yes.
So your actual proposal had some other company who's your boss.
my company, my boss's company.
Okay.
Yes.
Does your boss? Did you ever contact his boss?
State General Attorney contacted boss and sent
Did you get
us,
fired?
sent us this paper.
Well, you ought to get fired because either your boss or does your boss know that you use his contract and use his name?
No.
Does he get a cut?
No, nothing at all.
So then how is it
He
he's
only
okay
gave me
with you using his name?
it to use.
But yeah, I know, but you
as an
didn't do what he
example.
gave it to you to use for.
Yep, no, but he only wanted me to use it as example for me to get my own.
I heard you.
Okay.
Now breathe and hear me.
Okay.
Except you didn't use it as an example.
No,
You used his name on a contract.
That's right.
How are you not
That was
fired? How are you not fired when you got his company involved?
Because it was not his company. It was for me.
Let's see what he says you did. Let me see that. John Beeman has worked for me on and off for the past 6 to 7 years. This contract was made between John Beeman and the Mitchells. Evidently, he got a hold of one of my blank proposals.
Yeah, I did.
Well, that's what your boss said. That's how I don't know how you're not fired.
No.
Because if that's truthful.
There was no cut. There was nothing.
No, but what I'm saying is.
I'll just letting you know. I'm just telling you honest God truth.
What I'm saying is, he doesn't say he gave you his as a sample. He says you stole his contract.
No, I didn't steal anything.
Well, that's what he's saying here.
I didn't steal anything.
Dude, all you had to do was erase this stuff on the top. But
listen.
that stuff makes you look a heck of a lot more official because they probably have a license. Do you have a license?
They do.
Do you have
I subcontracted them.
Oh.
They're official. And
yeah, they're official.
6, 7 years.
That's why you keep their name on it.
6, 7 years before that,
Yeah.
I worked previously 20 years for their father.
Okay, but we have a problem here, and the problem is that they're very upset because you didn't do their roof.
Right.
What's your answer to that? Because that's the real problem.
Yeah, I agree. Now, what I'm saying is I never changed my phone numbers. Not the phone numbers that they got.
Why didn't you do their roof is my question.
Oh, okay. I got swamped. I didn't have time. I told him I was going to do them on the side. That's what I told him. I directly. He came. He's got it videoed where I was working at. He came to my job every day and videoed me. I did not give this guy a hassle. I did not violently.
Did you know he was videoing you?
Huh? Yeah, I told him he could.
Okay.
I told him he could. I said, sir, I'm sorry that I couldn't make it at this time to
Let's see the
do your
video.
roof. He shows me coming down the ladder, walking right to his truck, apologizing to him. Then I called him and apologized to him.
Okay, hold on. So you enter into the contract with them October 6th. When does the video happen?
It was like maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks after.
Yeah.
Why has 3 or 4 weeks passed?
October 3rd.
Maybe it was 3 or 4 weeks. I'm not sure. That's
But
it right
why
there.
haven't you done anything in a month?
That's what I was trying to say. I had, I also do side work concrete. And
Well, then don't take their money. What do you understand? Like,
listen,
your
it all
lack of
happens
planning is
so
not their
fast.
emergency. They
It
don't
all
want you to take their money.
I agree. It all happened so fast.
No, it didn't happen so fast. It took a month for a month to pass.
I'm talking about when I got the money for them. I was doing the job right then. They called me back.
That explains why you didn't do the roof. It doesn't explain why you didn't return the money. All right, now let's hear what happens in this video.
You talk to me like this.
I ain't gonna scream or
No.
All right, so go ahead. Speak what you was about to say.
You giving me my money.
I'm just gonna
Give me my money.
job. I couldn't do it how are we gonna do it in the rain? Tell me that. It rained all weekend.
I'm asking you. You don't give me money.
Say that again?
You giving me my money.
Give
Am I
me
gonna
my
give
money.
you back your money?
Yeah.
So you don't want the roof done?
You giving me my money.
Okay.
When?
Today, let me talk to you on this side.
No.
Trust me, I ain't gonna do
I don't trust you.
Why?
Because you took $1,200.
I didn't take anything. What's under contract? I'm
You
not
got
gonna, I'm
my
gonna do
money.
your job. Listen, this whole week it's been raining. Okay, I will drop
Sky
the
looks pretty
material
blue.
up there Thursday, and all I need is one day to do it.
You see.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Well,
It's been raining.
I just talked to child. I'm telling you.
All right, Thursday. I swear to God, Thursday we'll be there to do your job. You hear it? I'll be there Thursday.
Thursday.
All right.
I swear to God, I'll be there Thursday. Did you show up Thursday?
Nope, I went out of town.
Why'd you go out of town instead of
'Cause I
showing
had-
up when you swore to God?
You're right, but I had an emergency repair to do in Plattsburgh, outside of Vermont.
Why
Of a
don't you
job
tell
we
me
just
how
did.
you can stand here with any modicum of decency or dignity after I just played that video for you and not have returned these people's money?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So if somebody does something really shady to you, it just defrauds you, can a judge double the damages to teach you a lesson?
According
To teach the guy who defrauded you a lesson?
I don't know about the law, but I think it will be a good lesson.
A good lesson.
And I think that besides what the money that you lost, you might be aggravated, you might lose some working days, so compensation can be nice.
Fair enough.
I don't think so. I think they should just get what they're compensated.
And no more.
And
no
no-
lessons in court.
No.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
When I purposely was going to return the money, I had already got papers from small claims court.
So how does that stop you from returning the money?
Because
And by the way, your papers came a month and something later.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
I'm not
So
saying-
I
I'm not
think
saying
the
you're
real
wrong.
answer is that you're just a terrible person.
No.
I think it's just that
No, I'm
simple.
not a terrible person.
Yeah, who are taking advantage of this company.
I wasn't
That
taking-
is precisely what is
I
happening.
wasn't taking advantage of it at all.
Because when you spend their money on something else, on whatever trip you had to take out of town, on your own joy,
It wasn't on my
after
joy.
they
It
have
was-
pleaded with you to just do the job. Oh, and by the way, if you're such a good worker and such a good expert and you want us all to see the job you do, can you tell me why the day you gave them the estimate, you didn't put a tarp up there?
It was nice the whole week. It was.
then it
I'm not
wasn't.
saying I
Right.
should have. I
Right.
should have even
You know
did
why
it.
you should have?
I should have even did it
For the same
when it
reason
was.
as the garbage you said in the beginning of the bit. It's
because-
raining. It's raining outside.
Yeah,
In
no.
case you didn't notice.
No, you're right.
Right.
You're right.
So
I should've.
isn't the
I
first
should've.
thing you're supposed to do in a case like this is put a tarp up so they
I
don't
should
have
have put it
further
up when it was
damage?
raining. I should have put it up when it was raining. That's my fault.
Okay.
That is.
So you stole their money. You don't return
No,
it. It's been 3 months. You never put a tarp up. You swore to God you'd be there on Thursday. You didn't show up, but you're astounded you got sued and indignant and trying to figure out why you're the bad guy.
I'm not.
You're the bad guy because you're the bad guy. Okay? So number one, you are going to return every penny they gave you, $1,270. And number two, you are going to pay interest on that amount from the day that they paid it to you, which was October 6th. And number three, I am doubling that amount as punitive damages for the way that you have conducted business. Because this is a deceptive business practice, and I'm not going to allow it. You know it, and I know it. And you just figured they'd go away.
No.
And I'm not going to let you do
I
this
didn't figure they'd
to
go away.
another person. person where you give them a contract with someone else's name on it, no, I don't care. Side job, no side job, this contract shouldn't have been handed to them.
No, it shouldn't.
Never. And that is a deceptive business practice. And frankly, you guys should be suing that company too. And maybe then he gets fired. $2,540 plus interest on the $1,270 plus your court costs, verdict for the plaintiffs.
Thank you.
Well, the plaintiffs certainly prevail here, Mr. Beeman. You just got leveled by the judge, you know that? Yeah. You realize what just happened?
Yeah, I realize very much what just happened. Yeah.
She was angry.
Yeah.
What have you learned from all of this?
They deserve some of the money that they got. I believe pretty much a good portion, but it's my fault for just not putting the tarp over the roof. And they would have never had this problem.
I mean, you delayed. You made a lot of mistakes here.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah, but it's the only job that this has ever happened to because I just happen to be too busy, and that's my fault. And they deserve what they got.
Okay, very good.
They deserve it.
All right. Hope you've learned something out of all this. Very good. Okay. Mr. and Ms. Mitchell, if you'll step out here, please. Sorry it came to this for you guys. Step over here, ma'am. Right here. That's good. Thank you so much. It took some time for you to decide to file a lawsuit against him. You glad you did it, finally?
Yes.
Okay. How you feel about what just happened? She got mad at him, didn't
justified
she?
And
it's a scam.
You think it's a scam?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we gave him time, and he did not respond, and he always had excuses, so we had to do what we had to do.
Okay. Well, look, I'm sorry you had to go through this, but thank you very much. You know you're going to get double the amount you sued for, plus interest.
That's good.
So, over $2,540.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're going to get back? Okay. Thank you very much. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Okay. Harvey, good lesson for anybody, right?
There was no due date on the contract for performance, and there are magic words. They're called time is of the essence. Those are critical words if you want the job done on time. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the plaintiff, Elijah Bullock. He says he brought his disposable camera into the defendant's express photo developing store. And when he went to retrieve his pictures, he was told they didn't have them. The defendant insists he never dropped off a camera, which is a total lie. And he needs to be compensated because the pictures were of his deceased grandmother who passed away 15 years ago. He's suing for $2,500 for pain and suffering and missed work. This is the defendant, Frank. He says the plaintiff's mistaken because he never dropped off any photos to be developed at his shop. The guy's receipt doesn't have his store's stamp on it. He's making this whole thing up in a lame attempt to con him out of money, and there's no way he's paying him a dime. He's accused of losing it. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,500 for aggravation.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff brought his camera to the defendant's developing store, and the camera and the photos disappeared along with cherished photos of the plaintiff's grandma. But the defendant says the plaintiff never dropped off a camera. It's the case of grandma's gone.
Thank you, Douglas. Elijah Bullock, you are suing, you want to be referred to just as Frank? Yes. Frank's photo shop, you're the owner?
Yes.
Okay, for $2,500, $1,000 in pain and suffering, and $1,500 in work and travel fees, because according to you, they lost some pictures in a camera that were very meaningful to you. You have a counterclaim against them for the exact same amount for aggravating you. Okay, both of you aggravate me now. What's going on?
I understand, officer. I understand. What happened was I gave him a disposable camera to develop some pictures that were personal of mine. And he told me to come back 7 days later In fact, he was going to call me on the 7th day.
Tell me about the disposable camera. What were on the pictures?
There were the pictures of my deceased grandmother. It was actually a party that we had, the last party that she attended, and she passed away a year later.
And
so,
they were from when?
97.
Where had the camera been from 97 to 2000?
My mother's storage. It was in my mother's storage.
And she had never developed it?
No, because she's been moving from house to house. And so
since 97? So for 21 years it's been in storage?
She's been moved. Well, we had a...
So you found it. And how did anybody know what was on the camera?
We remember what that picture, around that time, we were trying to get rid of the disposable.
How would you know what the time was? If it was 21, 22 years ago, how would you know what was on the camera?
We just remember we were using that. We remember using that.
You remember 21 years ago using a disposable camera, and you remember exactly what you photographed.
It wasn't exactly just my grandmother.
Okay.
We know that among other pictures, we know that was one of the events that camera was at. I guess you could say we assumed that was
well, here's why that concerns me. Because your position is he's just trying to make a buck off you. Right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Did he leave a disposable camera with you?
No, he did not.
What makes you so sure that he did not?
I saw the receipt, and there's no description, there's no stamp, and I was told something else. There was a professional model's photo on there, which cost a lot. And I was like...
That's what he told you when...
Yes.
Okay, when he came to complain. Yes. First of all, do you have the receipt? You have the receipt, right?
I have the receipt.
Yep, can I see it?
Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Is this the receipt he showed you?
There's a receipt from my photo lab.
That's a receipt from your photo lab. Did you see a different receipt the day he talked to you?
Not sure.
You're not sure. Okay, because in your answer to the complaint, you said it didn't have your stamp.
Yes.
That one has your stamp.
Yes, it is my receipt.
Okay.
The other receipt, the one...
When did you bring it to his photo lab?
In September.
Okay. There's a number on here. If I give you a moment, would you be able to find out what date?
No, I won't be able to find out.
You wouldn't be able to?
No.
Okay, so it doesn't operate that way. So why were you so sure in the answer to the complaint that there was no stamp?
Yeah, the receipt which was shown to me didn't have no stamp. I don't know what is this receipt. This looks like a new receipt, which is not
Well,
too
that's
old.
why I'm asking if you can tell from the number or not really.
No, not really.
You can't?
No, not really.
Okay.
And people bring those films, but not that old, from 5 years, 7 years, and they are wondering, oh, I'm so excited.
Right.
What's in there? I hope it's a good surprise.
I'd be nervous.
Yeah, exactly. People have been telling me exactly, and I'm wondering how good that is. Exactly what happens. People are very excited to see their old photos. They don't know what is on there.
So what did he tell you? First of all, how did it happen? He comes in one day. Were you there?
Yes, I was there.
Okay, and what happened?
And I saw the receipt without any description on it, and I'm like...
Wait, where's the receipt without any description on it? Is that this?
I don't think, because the receipt he showed me at that time was no stamp. There was no stamp on it, no photo.
So you think he showed you a different receipt?
I believe
and that this is like some recent
That's what I said, that it don't have no...
I never got a chance to show him the receipt. I was going to go to the car and grab it, but he never let me get it. He just dismissed and said I'd never dropped the camera off.
No.
But he has such a specific defense that he's always maintained, which is, you have a receipt that doesn't have our stamp on it, that's not from our... So it was so specific. But anyway, go ahead. What's your recollection?
And he came to the shop and said, and there's no description, because there are a lot of different things we do, and we file it on the place, so find it right away. And I'm like, what did you drop off? And he goes like, what was the last person asked for? I said, he had a CD. Okay, he goes like, I have a CD too. I said, from what? From a memory card or a film? He goes like, from a film. Okay, so, but he doesn't say anything, and there's no stamp. And I'm surprised, so still, I don't know, so I was like, okay, let's look for it. I started looking for it. I made a copy. I asked him to give me a couple of days.
Wait, you made a copy of what?
Receipt.
Then let me see it.
He came after 2 months.
No. Do you have the copy that you made?
Have the copy.
That's my question.
I don't
Why
have
wouldn't you keep it? What's the point of making the copy?
It's been like 2 months, because I have to look for the number.
Okay.
And
that would be helpful, though. I would have loved to have seen if that's different from this. But go ahead.
I looked everywhere.
Okay.
Everywhere, the places I'm not supposed to look for, but of course I want his film to be found, but there was no film. There was no film.
So who is responsible for keeping records in a case like this? The customer or the business person?
Ideally, everyone does what's right.
But sometimes nobody does. So who's responsible?
Both. You have to keep record.
If one has to be primarily responsible, who?
The customer.
Really?
Yes, it is their importance to keep their records. It is their grandfather.
Grandmother, please. God, rest in peace, man. Going inside the courtroom.
How many months passed before he filed a lawsuit against you?
3 months.
Okay, so now let me ask you a question. So first of all, why are you counterclaiming against him $2,500 for aggravation?
For like coming in the shop, making noise, making everything like a big commotion, coming in the counter, taking the photos without permission. I didn't say nothing. Okay, let him do it. He's want to take the photos of the consumer affair certificate and stuff. Okay, I let him do it. But he was loud and very disrespectful in front of other customers.
Okay.
And today, I'm supposed to be at the shop today doing my business.
Did you have to close the shop? Are you a solo act? All right.
Yes.
Let me talk to you. Why would you be entitled to $2,500?
That's what I was going to explain. He did for a whole 2 months. He said that he misplaced them, and I was trying to get in contact with him on the phone to let him know. Oh, did you find the pictures? He said no. I was working in Brooklyn at that time, where his shop is at, to get those pictures developed. I couldn't. After September, I had left and started working in Pennsylvania. After calling him numerous times, he stopped answering my phone call. I had to travel down from Pennsylvania to come to his shop because he stopped answering his phone call.
Did you tell him they were model pictures?
No, I don't even know. I don't even know exactly what model pictures are. I don't take model pictures. I just said it was family pictures that I had on that camera because I remember us having it at specific events where we had that disposable camera. We were trying to get rid of the...
How valuable can they be if they got lost for 21 years and nobody even knows what's on them? Let me tell you what the law is.
Yeah.
You know, there's emotional value that we place on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have some difficulty with you maintaining that those are the photos of the last time my grandma was, because I think you're hamming it up. But let's assume that no matter what, any family photos are valuable to you, okay? Especially old ones, like what this would be.
Nobody uses...
Sorry. I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Sorry.
Did I breathe and give you the impression I was done?
Sorry.
Okay. The law on this issue is very, very specific.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What's the law on this issue? Because I imagine you've been dealing with this your whole life. How long have you been in this business?
17 years.
Okay, so what is the law on this issue?
We are supposed to give him the exact value of the camera or the film or the card.
The camera or the film.
And the developing.
And any developing costs. Did you pay any developing costs or no? Because that's paid at the point of pickup.
And 7 days, I don't take 7 days to develop any kind of film.
Okay, I didn't. Okay. I'm going to assume for the purposes of this discussion that he dropped off a disposable camera. I'm going to assume that because he has a little receipt here. Because when I ask you, wait, is this the receipt and there's a number, you don't really have a system of figuring out if this is old or this is new and disproving him. Because according to you, you took a copy of his original receipt that he showed you, but you didn't keep it, and that would be a way of disproving it. So basically, I have uncontradicted testimony, because you can't disprove it because of the way your business records are, that he dropped off film, okay? The problem you have is that you want $2,500 for it, and you don't get that. The most you get, in the eyes of the law, is the cost of the disposable camera. So on your lawsuit against him for aggravation, you would have been able to prove to me that he's a scam artist if you had any of the business records I'm talking about. If you kept, you know, maybe it's just too much trouble to do it. You don't need to do it, so I'm not faulting you as a business practice. But if you kept the numbers by the dates or something and could show me that, or if you'd kept that copy of that receipt, then you would be able to show me he's a scammer. You're entitled to $2,500 for aggravation. You're not able to show me that. So you're not entitled to $2,500 for aggravation. And with this, you are able to show me that you dropped something off. So I'm going to find you dropped off that camera. The problem you have is I'm also going to award you $12.99 because that's what that stuff costs, okay? $12.99 verdict for the plaintiff. And let me explain to you why the law is like that. Because can you imagine if we put courts in the business of deciding how valuable each person's pictures are to them? It's not a measurable amount. That's why we don't do it, okay?
So the plaintiff prevails, but just for a small amount of $12 is not $2,500. But you got a good education in the law from the judge.
Right.
What are you thinking?
It sucks, but you live and you learn. You know what I mean?
I mean, there's, as the judge said, there's no way to put value on pictures.
Yeah.
It's really impossible.
Right.
They're valuable to you, but
according is not a value to nobody else. So.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. It was a good try, though.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Frank, does this kind of thing happen very often?
No, I don't.
People come in and you haven't?
No, it never. It happened once in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon?
But we found the stuff.
But you're convinced he didn't drop that camera off, right?
There should be a law about the aggravation, what he created me.
Okay. Well, sorry, you don't win your countersuit either, okay? Good try. Thank you very much. Okay, Harvey, what do you think?
Well, I mean, this is a double whammy. You don't get pain and suffering for breach of contract, and you can't get the value for lost memories. It's just not tangible. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Chad Plesher. He says he purchased a house from the defendant, and included in the sale was her washer and dryer. When he arrived for the walkthrough, those appliances were missing, and the defendant agreed to give him money back after the closing to make up for the missing machines. Well, here they are, 4 months later. She hasn't paid him what she owes, and he's here suing in the good name of justice, seeking the $1,650 he's owed. This is the defendant, Cynthia Stewart. She says she didn't tell the plaintiff she'd sell him the washer and dryer. She just told him she was going to leave them behind because she didn't want to move them. She thinks her handyman may have taken them out of the house before the plaintiff moved in. But how is that her problem? She left them behind, as she said she would. She doesn't know what happened to them and thinks the plaintiff is suing the wrong person. She's accused of being washed up. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $300 for lost wages.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff bought a house from the defendant. Supposed to include a washer-dryer, but they went missing. Defendant says she never sold the washer-dryer to the plaintiff, and the handyman probably took them. So tough. It's the case of liar, liar, washer-dryer.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Chad Plesher?
Yes.
You are suing Cynthia Stewart for $1,650, the cost of a washer-dryer that was supposed to be in the house that you were buying from her and isn't. You are counterclaiming $300 because he is suing you and making you miss work. Okay, what is going on?
Thank you, Your Honor. Fall of 2017, we made an offer to purchase the defendant's home. I have a copy of the contract, if you like.
And the contract includes a washer-dryer, right?
Correct. Page 4
Okay.
actually states washer and dryer
All right, go on.
Convey at closing. My wife and I closed on our current property, or our old home, the morning of September 15th, and we immediately went to the defendant's home to do our final walkthrough. At that time, we noticed the washer and dryer was missing.
Before the closing?
Before the closing, the second closing.
And so what happened at closing? Why wasn't that hashed out at closing and made part of the closing?
So at that point, our realtor called her realtor and said that her response was that the people that had cleaned out the house had taken the washer and dryer. She wasn't aware of it, and she didn't think that she would be able to get it back. She offered us $600 at that time.
Before the closing?
Before the closing.
Okay.
We counted offered at $1,200. They were Whirlpool uprights, front load on pedestals. I actually have an ad, brand new. They're about $2,000. From what I could tell, they may have been a couple years old. So we
How
didn't.
old?
Maybe 2 years old.
You guessing, or do you know?
I don't know for sure.
You don't know the age of the appliances?
I do not know for sure, Your Honor.
Do you?
Pretty close, yes.
What is the age of those appliances?
Those appliances were about 8 years old.
In your answer to the complaint, you said 6. When did they become
probably
8?
at that time it was 6.
No, the answer to the complaint was just filed, and your answer to the complaint was 6. All right, but tell me again why the closing happens. Because everybody wants it to. Nobody wants this to hold it up.
One of my best friends is an attorney. I called him right away and asked what I should do. He actually told me that I should probably go ahead and close. We were basically homeless at that point, right? I mean, we closed on our old home. And then I could take her to small claims after.
I'm not sure I'd call that homeless, but yes,
You're
you
right,
needed a place to stay that night.
We would have to
so-
find some place to rent or someplace.
Right.
Like that.
So you went ahead and closed, and then you filed a small claims case?
Correct.
But not for a while.
Took about a year.
I presume that you bought another washer dryer.
I did. Within 8 days, I had to go
All
buy
right.
another
And
washer.
did you try to come to some conclusion through the lawyers and through everybody for some settlement on this topic?
No, I didn't. Your Honor.
Okay. All right. So then what happens? Then we're here?
Then we're here.
Okay. How are you going to prove how old the items were?
I have no proof. Of
Okay.
that,
Did you give me a picture, though, of the item?
I did give you a picture.
May I see that picture again?
Sure, absolutely.
Did you ever call the handyman to find out what happened?
I did.
And what did he say?
He said he did not take it. So I called Pickaway County Sheriff's Department, and I told him, I said, my washer and dryer come up missing.
That's so
I've
weird.
moved
How could
out.
it come up missing? It had to be your handyman, right?
That's what I
Probably.
think.
All right. But
he
is this
said
somebody you
no,
trusted and
and-
had for a while, or?
Yeah. He's done a lot of work for me.
And you think she just gave it to the handyman?
So how much is a 6-year-old washer dryer worth? What do you think?
I know, $20.
$20? That's cruel.
I mean, it kind of depends on how fancy the dryer is. I think we just have to look at the
6 years old. How come on?
I mean, market depreciation depends on the quality of the dryer in the first place. But
Blah, blah, blah. How much?
maybe 50.
Yeah, that's about right. Going inside the courtroom.
So is this it? Is this a picture
That is
of it?
the only picture I had of it. If I knew this would have been an issue, I would
No,
have
I
taken
know.
more pictures. Your
I
Honor.
know.
And the ad for the new ones are right behind that page.
Right.
It's the second
And the ad for the new ones do not have this logo, do they?
That is correct.
All right. How far back do we have to go to get this logo that looks like this?
I don't know. I mean, like I said, the statement from my agent actually shows that there was tape, like packing tape, still on those units. So I find it hard to believe that they were 6 years old. I really do.
The problem is you're the guy who has to prove what their what value is. You're the
Agreed.
plaintiff in the case.
Agreed.
So what are you going to give me to prove the value of this item?
I cannot prove that item.
So
I can
you
only
don't
show
have
you-
the value of the item. You don't have the value of the item, but I have been bestowed with judicial divine and I'm going to figure out the value of the item. Thank you, folks. You people are always fighting and putting me in the middle.
Sorry, Your Honor.
No, that's actually my job. That was sarcasm.
I figured there'd be some rough justice involved.
Yeah, that's
Your Honor.
exactly what there's going to be. Now, in the spirit of rough justice, what did she do? She offered you how much?
She offered me $600.
Correct. Why didn't you take it?
Well, I purchased a defendant's tractor as well. I gave her an offer. I had my mechanic check it out. One of the brakes was actually bad on the tractor. I went back and asked if she would take $500 off. She wouldn't. I said, no big deal, we'll move on. I felt it was still worth it. And then trees, according to the defendant, the weather had taken down some trees. A storm had come through and taken down some trees, and they had timbered quite a few that were already on the ground. After we went into contract, they continued to cut down oak trees, which they were like 100-year-old oaks. I have pictures of those as well.
Why would they spend the money to do that?
They actually make money on that, Your Honor.
How?
I called several sawmills just off the dimensions that I gave them and the pictures that I had. They estimated that those trees were worth anywhere between $5,000 to $8,000.
Was there continued cutting down of trees? What is he talking about?
Not that I know of. I did have a guy come and clear some of the rotted trees out.
Why?
But he started before we went into contract doing this.
Okay.
It was my niece's boyfriend, so I don't know what the trees were worth. I said just get all the old underbrush, because we had a heck of a storm and it knocks down your fences.
I've heard enough. All right, so if brand new ones cost you what?
$1,600.
Okay. And her testimony is they're at least 6 years old, if not 8, and you have no contrary testimony. Why isn't $600 a perfectly legitimate offer?
I had to make myself whole with new washer and dryer, right?
Yeah, except for that's not the value of the damage.
Agreed. The washer and dryer.
The value of the damage is the value of the item at the time of the wrong. The wrong is they weren't there. They weren't there, not new ones weren't there.
Sure.
So you don't get replacement value. You, in fact, get true value, depreciated value of an old machine, because that's what you had in there. So, and why are you suing him for lost wages? What do you do for a living?
I do in-home caregiving. And if I don't show up, I don't get paid.
Right, but you're getting sued because you breached the contract because the washer dryer wasn't there. So whatever entitled you to lost wages.
I offered him $600.
So he didn't want to take it.
And he turned it down, right.
Okay, well, he didn't want to take it. I thought it was a reasonable offer, but there's nothing binding him to take it. He wanted to take his chances in court. So what? He's entitled to it. He's free and American.
Right. And I'll take my chances in court, but I wasn't planning.
Your chances are far worse than his on the issue of your lost wages. You don't get that. So 0 on your counterclaim. However, you're looking really good on that offer that you made to him because I think that $600 is a very legitimate offer on something that you can't prove is worth more. And I find in your favor in the amount of $600. Good luck, folks.
Thank you.
You didn't have to be here.
So the plaintiff prevails, and he gets the amount he was originally offered, just a little bit less. You offered him $650, was it? Six. Then he gets exactly what you offered.
Right.
And as you pointed out, you took your chances in court, and you lost.
I did.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. And you still don't know what happened to them. They just disappeared, right?
Disappeared.
Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Mr. Pleasure, you probably should have taken her offer.
Yeah, I mean, we could have.
You know, it would saved you a lot of time.
It could have saved some time.
Yeah,
You're right,
no
Mr.
question
Llewellyn.
about it.
Yep.
So, anyway, that's the way it goes some days, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, I felt we should have got a little more, honestly, but I couldn't prove it, right?
Yeah,
you got to have
that's it.
evidence.
You got to have evidence.
I watched the show enough.
Yeah,
I should have known.
know.
I should have known. Yes, sir.
Okay, good
Yes,
enough.
sir.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank
Okay, take care. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, here's the thing. Is this unfairness in the law. You are entitled to the depreciated value at the time of the loss. It doesn't help you when you want to go out and buy another washer dryer, but that's the law.